All right, I'll call the school committee meeting of August 31st to order at 6 p.m. We all stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Ware, if you take roll.
Pat Garbage.
Here.
Polly Marcus.
Here.
Jennifer Marcus.
Here.
Kathy Lovers.
Here.
Bill Garvey.
Here.
Mayor Lightfoot.
Here. So for folks at home that are watching, this meeting is generally just about some policy updates, mostly relating to masking. So I'll turn it over to the superintendent to talk about that and the handbook protocols.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. As part of the recent announcement on August 24th from the Commissioner regarding the mandate on masks, in the guidance also, there's a clause in there that they would like to have school committees vote on a masking policy. Generally, these aren't in the handbooks, obviously, as we haven't had a pandemic before. So, so as we head into this year, the idea is to get this into a handbook. Hopefully, for the compliance piece, we have people that are complying to this. Number one goal is health and safety. 1A, 1B would be certainly keeping our kids in school for five days a week and not closing classrooms and limiting quarantining and things like that. So we're excited. We're fired up for Thursday. Get everybody back and get back to a routine. So in this policy, it's effective immediately. Public school students age 5 and above and staff in all grades are required to wear masks indoors in schools except when eating, drinking, or during mass breaks. By federal public health order, all students and staff are required to wear masks on school buses. Masks should cover individuals' nose and mouth. And then in this policy also has a clause for medical exemptions, so students and staff who cannot wear a mask for documented medical reasons, and students who cannot wear a mask for documented behavioral reasons may be exempt from the requirement. A written note from the student's physician is required for an exemption, which must be approved by the school principal in consultation with the school nurse/school physician or a 504 process. And then the last piece of the policy is around the compliance piece. So the way this reads is positive behavioral interventions, conferencing between families and school administration, and progressive discipline will be used to address student noncompliance with this policy. Only after these steps are taken may a student be removed from the school building until such time as they can comply with the requirement or the requirement is lifted. And please see the note down below, which is the mask requirement will be in place until at least October 1st, 2021, and is subject to change thereafter.
So now everyone's seen all the policies. We have some other ones to vote on. They're just minor changes, but that's the big one. Are there questions related to the face covering policy? We also have our attorney, Russ Dupree, here too, who can answer anything. Questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to the old business and take votes on these. We have 3 major sections to vote on.
I'm not sure if Russ, did you?
Russ, did you miss anything you want to add?
Yeah,
places. And one thing I would change in looking at it is in one place it says should cover the nose and mouth. I would change that to must.
Feel like I'm back in law school.
Yeah, the second, the second thing you might want to add, I'm not sure where in your policies you're putting that, but it should also list visitors. I'm not sure if I heard the word visitors as part of it.
Yeah, but it's been there.
Good.
Visitors in there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll start with section E, support services. We'll take each one in the sections. I'll entertain a motion on policy updates for support services.
I make a motion we approve file EBCFA.
Second.
How'd the subcommittee vote?
3-0.
Do we want to entertain an amendment to that motion, or to the policy to change should to must? Do you have a motion to do that? Do
So moved.
you have a second?
Second.
All right, so on the amendment to change the word from should cover the nose and mouth to must,
Must.
by a show of hands, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Back to the main motion. Any further discussion on face coverings, support services, section E? Seeing none, by a show of hands, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Move on to section F, facilities.
I make a motion we approve file FCB, file FF, and the deletion of FFE.
Second.
How'd the subcommittee vote?
3-0.
Any questions? Discussion? Seeing none, by a show of hands, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Section J, students.
I make a motion we approve file JICF, JICFA, JICFAE, JICFAB, JICFB. And we are pulling JICH for further review.
Okay.
Second.
How'd the subcommittee vote?
3-0.
Any discussion on section J, students? Yeah, Ms. Garbasik?
These were just minor updates, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No new policies. They were all just updates and minor wording changes.
Thank you.
And just for the public at home, you can see these all at WSPS.org. All our policies are up there. And Karen, just touch on a little bit how you do a policy update. I know you and I talked about this a little bit. Like, you have it basically sectioned off as this was reviewed 5 years ago. It's time to look at it again. And
Yes, some of them, just because they are old, not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just that it hasn't been reviewed. So I'll put it on the policy subcommittee agenda, just for them to look at it and see if they need to do anything with it. If not, it's just really to update
yeah,
the
and that's why we've seen a lot of policies on our agenda over the past 2 months.
three, 4 committees.
Yeah.
School committee meetings, yep.
So thank you for that, Karen. I appreciate it. So back to our main motion on section J, students. We have a motion and a second. The subcommittee was unanimous. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, by a show of hands, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. That does it for tonight's meeting. The next school committee meeting will be September 14th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you, Westside.